Hello and welcome to Outright. Today is very special day for Hindus across the world. The Ram Temple, the much awaited Ram Temple in Ayodhya is finally inaugurated. It was done by Prime Minister Modi himself of India, and the day is being celebrated as Diwali across India. People have lit up diyas in their homes, they are bursting crackers, and there is a mood of celebration across the country, across every city, every town, every home of the country. The day is really, really special for Hindus, but it was a day of meltdown for Western media and Islamist media around the world. And today we will have a look at some of these media reports which have surfaced today, which highlight just one part of the history while ignoring the other part completely, while pushing that part under the carpet. This is the report by Al Jazeera. It says it declares India's Ram Temple controversial. I mean, it is so easy to declare such a revered site so controversial, and it still gets away with it. If you look at the details of the article, it starts with the history from December 6th of 1992. The article says there used to be a mosque before it was pulled down by a mob of Hindu nationalists in 1992. The mosque stood there since 1528 and was built by the Mughal king Babur. This article implies that the history of this place starts from December 6. Well, very convenient. Now, all of these articles show no respect, no regard for India's judiciary, India's top court, India's Supreme Court, which in 2019 ruled in favor of Ramlala, in favor of Hindus. And if you look at the judgment, the Supreme Court clearly said that the underlying structure below the site at Ayodhya was not an Islamic structure. The court has accepted the fact that it was not an Islamic structure where the mosque was built upon. So, of course, it led to the conclusion that there might be a Hindu structure behind that mosque. However, the, the court ruled that the ASI, which is Archaeological Survey of India, which was in entrusted with the responsibility of finding out the truth, of finding out what is hidden below that mosque. It failed to establish whether a temple was demolished to build a mosque. But again, it noted that there was some non Islamic structure beneath that mosque. That is one important point to note. And now, moving on, I want to focus today on this article, which is from Times of India. It was published in 2019 and it quotes one of India's topmost archaeologists, K.K. Muhammad. Now, K.K. Muhammad, a Muslim himself, he was a part of the team which carried out the first excavation at the site where temple has been built. Now, if you look at his statements, it will give you a balanced, unbiased perspective. So let's start, and it is going to be really interesting from here on because now we will be looking at real facts. So, K.K. Muhammad, who is a former regional director north of Archaeological Survey of India, which is the ASI, he was a part of the team which carried out the first excavation at the site in 1976 and 77. And he says that there is enough archaeological proof of a grand temple below the Babri mosque. If you look at his statement, he clearly says Ram temple existed before Babri mosque in Ayodhya. And moving on, this is his statement. He says that when he went inside of the site, he saw 12 pillars of the mosque which were made from temple remains. This is very, very interesting. He is accepting the fact, being a Muslim himself, he is saying that at least 12 pillars of the mosque were made from temple remains. and this is what came out of the first excavation. Now, the second excavation was carried out in 2003, and by the time the mosque had been destroyed, and it found that there were several structures below the ground. Many anomalies were reported. Anomalies meaning that you will be getting structures below the Babri Masjid. The second excavation implied that there was a lot of structure beneath that Babri mosque, and something was raised before the mosque was built there. In the second excavation, more than 50 pillar bases in 17 rows were exposed. It means that the structure was imposing and large. And now, the most important line I would like to highlight: the structure discovered was a temple below the Babri Mosque and dated back to the 12th century AD. Not like what the Western media is saying, that it began in 16th century. No, the real history of the place starts in during this time, 12th century AD. If you want to really report on this event through a non-biased lens, you have to take into consideration this part of history as well. You cannot pick and choose while talking about history. And this is the problem with Western media today. They are simply ignoring some facts which favor Hindus, and they are just invoking fear among Indian Muslims. But nevertheless, the day still holds utmost significance for Hindus across the world. This is the day which will be remembered by generations to come. The day when the Hindu temple in Ayodhya, the Ram temple in Ayodhya, was finally inaugurated. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye bye.